Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Let's get started with this week's episode. This week we're going to talk about Danny Phantom. A lot of people think Danny Phantom arguably is probably my most popular series, even though Fairly Odd Parents has been on the air longer and seems to have reached more people around the world and is an awesome show and I love it. A lot of people have a lot of really legit love for Danny Phantom. I mean, that show started airing in 2004. We stopped making regular episodes of it in 2007. We made 4 seasons of it. It goes strong in reruns, it's huge on iTunes, and it just has a rabid fan base. In fact, anytime I post anything about Fairly Odd Parents or TUFF Puppy or the NOOG Network or anything else that I do, I always get at least 5 or 6 Danny Phantom shout-outs. Please bring back Danny Phantom. We love Danny Phantom. Bring back the Ghost Boy. It's crazy, it's awesome, and I appreciate every single one of the shout-outs, and I see most of them, so thank you very much. I first thought of the idea for Danny Phantom in 2001. I was driving in a moving van from Las Vegas with my mother, Carol. We were driving for a long time. We ran out of things to talk about, so I started just thinking to myself, hey, I know Nickelodeon's looking for a new boys action animated cartoon. Maybe I could come up with one. So I thought the first thing I would need for a boys action cartoon is a really cool name. I used to love the show Johnny Quest. Anybody remember that? But I thought Johnny Quest, what a great name, the word Quest. If I could just come up with a great word for a name, I think I'd have a really cool lock and a great idea. So I started thinking of cool action words like power, thunder, lightning, and I ended up on the word Phantom. I thought Phantom was a really cool name. So then I started going, okay, that could be his last name. I should call him Billy Phantom or Davey Phantom or Kenny Phantom. And by the time I got back to Los Angeles in a moving van with my mom, I thought of the name Danny Phantom. So the first step in creating a show like Danny Phantom was coming up with the characters. I mean, who's going to be in this show? Obviously the character of Danny Phantom, that was an easy one. But what was he going to look like? Was he going to be tall? Was he going to be short? How old was he going to be? Was he going to be an adult? Was he going to be like an older teenager, like 18? Or how about 13 or 14? We kind of settled on 14 years old because that was a good age. Timmy Turner was 10 and he was still into elementary school things like riding bikes, playing video games, but Danny Phantom was 14 and he was a kid who was starting to get interested in girls and school dances and just a lot of other social things that 10-year-old boys aren't interested in. So 14 was the age we decided on, and so we thought, okay, all the other characters have to be around Danny's age. He's got to have some characters that are around his age. So first of all, we got to have a girl in the show, a possible love interest slash best friend. That's what we came up with Danny's best friend, Sam Manson. So we're coming up with a character named Danny Phantom. And what kind of hero is he going to be? Is he going to be a gadgety hero that's got things he uses to become a hero? One idea I had, I was going to give him an owl, like a sidekick named Spooky. It was a white owl that was going to sit on his shoulder and like go out and scout out ghosts for him. But at the time we were coming up with the show, Harry Potter was going to be a very big movie that year, and so we decided against the owl. And after that I was going to give him an awesome ghostly motorcycle to drive around on, but then he could fly, so he didn't really need the motorcycle. So we had a lot of cool ideas we weren't able to implement in the show, but maybe we will someday if Danny Phantom ever comes back. Samantha Manson, or Sam for short, is this really cool girl. She's a great character. She's really tough. She's very edgy. She's very smart. She's kind of a girly girl in a way because she wears a lot of feminine clothes, but then she wears kind of edgier clothes too. So she's kind of got a little bit of a dark side to her, but she's really got a really big heart at heart. She's a very sensitive girl. And she secretly, maybe not so secretly, has a thing for Danny. And Danny, not so secretly maybe, has a thing for her. We thought that would be a really awesome element to add to the storytelling. And it really created some really cool tension between the two characters. They were friends, but were they going to be more? Who knows? The next thing we need is someone kind of technical on Danny's team because we knew that it was going to be a show based in science. We created some parent characters for Danny Phantom, Jack Fenton and Maddie Fenton. They were scientists, they were ghost chasers, can't use Ghostbusters. They were ghost chasers and they had this awesome lab designed specifically to catch ghosts and monsters from another dimension. So we thought we need Danny to have a scientific character on his side. That's how we came up with Tucker Foley. He was this kid who was really a techno whiz. He was into all the latest gadgets. And back in 2001, when we first came up with Tucker, there wasn't as much technology out there as there is now. I mean, now there's iPhones, iPads, all kinds of just crazy electronic stuff out there. But back in 2001, there really wasn't that much out there. There was a thing called a PDA, a personal data assistant they called it. And it was kind of a big, clunky sort of a BlackBerry thing. So you'll see Tucker carrying that around a lot in the show. And he had a lot of other technical things too. He was really a whiz at stuff like that. And we really thought that would help Danny help fight ghosts and help him become a superhero. So once we've got Danny Phantom and his friends kind of figured out, what kind of hero is Danny going to be? Is he going to be a gadget-based hero where he's just a guy with a bunch of gadgets? Or are we going to give him ghost-like powers? Like give him powers just like the ghosts or monsters he's going to fight on a daily basis? Well, I think that was a pretty easy call. We gave him the ghost powers and we were off and running after that point. We made him a guy whose DNA got mixed up with some ghost DNA, so he was half boy, half ghost. We have the show kind of figured out. We have Danny, we have Sam, we have Tucker, we have the town of Amity Park figured out, and we know that Danny's going to be a ghost-based superhero with ghost-like powers. But what kind of powers is he going to have? We figure, well, he's a ghost. He can turn invisible, he can fly through walls, and he can fly. And he can also overshadow people. That's kind of like taking over their bodies for a brief amount of time, but in a good guy way. And that was just one of the powers we came up with. As the show progressed, we came up with some other really awesome powers for Danny. He could shoot plasma blasts out of his hands. He had a thing called a ghostly wail, where he would use sonic waves from his throat and have like a ghostly howl that would go forward that could break things and smash things. He also had this ability to turn things freezing cold, because ghosts give you a ghostly chill. So we thought that'd be really a fun power to give him too. And as the show went on, we gave him power after power just to enhance him and make him grow. He also had to learn how to use his powers. And a great hero like Danny Phantom isn't really a great hero without some really cool villains to fight. We gave him an awesome amount of villains that were really cool. Skulker, the ghost hunter. The Box Ghost, who was kind of a comedic ghost villain. Ember McLean, one of our most popular villains. She was a rock and roll ghost who sang the song Remember. Anybody remember that song? Desiree, this ghost genie girl who was very creepy. Also Penelope Spectra, a ghostly teacher. And the big baddie of all Danny's villains, Vlad Plasmius, who was a friend of Danny's dad for many years and got powers in the same kind of accident Danny did, but only 20 years earlier. So he already had his powers for 20 years before Danny did. He was much better at using them. So those villains, plus many others, gave Danny a lot of awesome challenges, which made him a really, really awesome hero and gave the show some really interesting stories. Okay everyone, thanks so much. It's now time for this week's Drawing of the Week, and a lot of people have been writing in and wanting me to draw Timmy Turner's annoying teacher, Mr. Crocker. So hang in, here's Mr. Crocker.
Timmy is an average kid that no one understands. Mom and Dad and Vicky always giving him commands. Doom and gloom up in his room.
Okay everybody, thanks so much for watching this week. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and to follow me on every form of social media known in the universe. Look down below for all the links. And also don't forget to watch the NOOG Network. It's awesome, you'll love it. Don't forget to download, it's free. Thanks for watching. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Let's get started.
Stopping, so it should work.
We're gonna talk. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Okay, so I'm gonna go over here. Thinking of Danny was easy. So the first step in creating a show like Danny